Hey guys, it's your tech girl Mary and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Finally guys, yes, magagawa na natin ng review video yung bagong A-series ng OPPO. This is the OPPO A77s. Isa to sa tatlong smartphone na nirelease nila kamakailan lang. And if you remember, the last OPPO A-series phone that we reviewed on this channel was the OPPO A95 pa, and that was a year ago. So yes, excited ako on what the OPPO A77s can offer to us and to answer the question if it is worth it or not. We have the usual blue box from the OPPO A series, and kung makikita nyo, it's very straight to the point. Sadly, yes, sadly no guys, kasi ako ay malungkot dahil hindi color yellow yung smartphone na nakuha natin for this A77s, but then again, maganda pa rin naman. Mamaya makikita nyo. And of course, it comes complete with this smaller box that contains the paperwork, yung ating jelly case, and of course, yung ating panundot. In fairness naman, it's not the cheap, clear jelly case that we usually see sa mga mid-range to budget devices. Medyo may kakapalan siya, especially on its sides. And of course, yung ating smartphone in starry black. Mamaya pag-usapan natin yung kanyang design, but for now, let's see what else is inside the box. The SuperVOOC power brick and yung ating USB-C to USB Type-A charging cable. This OPPO A77s retails for 13,999 pesos sa market and is already available. Anyway, any smartphones that we review on this channel is always linked down in the description box. Kung mapapansin nyo, what I have here is in starry black, and yup, ito yung typical OPPO glow na nakikita natin sa mga smartphones nila, even on their high-end. It has a matte rear finish and very subtle lang din yung kanyang OPPO branding sa ilalim. And also available in sunset orange, the colorway again that I badly wanna see in person. Pero nakita ko siya sa mga OPPO stores recently, and talaga namang napakaganda niya for its price. I think that colorway is the first fiberglass leather design ng OPPO. Anyway, this phone is only 7.9mm thin, and yes, squared off yung kanyang edges. Very trendy and pasok pa rin naman sa ating 2022 design. When it comes to the button placement, it's your usual positioning. Power button is on the right and volume rockers is on the left, and of course the headphone jack, the speaker, and of course the USB-C is located below. And up front, we got a 6.56-inch LCD display. Una ko kaagad napansin yung kanyang dewdrop notch. Most people will be perfectly fine for having a dewdrop notch. Yun nga lang ano guys, I find it a bit weird considering na yung predecessors ng smartphone na to has a punch hole cutout. For everyday basis guys, okay naman at bright. For outdoor use, yung meron tayo sa OPPO A77s. Yung 90Hz refresh rate niya makes scrolling across the menu a smooth experience. Kahit pa paano naman for an LCD panel, hindi masyadong wash out yung kanyang display. Though, it might be a deal breaker to some since HD resolution nga lang yung meron tayo sa smartphone na to. But one of the biggest surprise for me is this phone comes with a dual stereo speaker setup. The secondary speaker is located sa kanyang pinaka-earpiece. So from not having stereo speakers sa ating OPPO A76, it's good that we finally have one here. Hey guys, it's your tech girl Mary and welcome back to our YouTube channel. For today, sa wakas, magagawa na natin yung review ng ating OPPO Reno 8 5G. Now, let's talk about the camera performance of the OPPO A77s. Medyo malaki actually yung jump kung ikukumpara natin ito sa predecessor niya, which some people may find it quite a big deal. We are getting a dual rear camera setup here. From 13 megapixel shooter guys, we now have a 50 megapixels. We also are getting a 2 megapixels depth sensor and an 8 megapixels front camera. But I gotta say guys, the camera picture quality is actually very good. Certain shots, kung makikita nyo, really looks amazing and na-capture na talaga yung colors and detail na hinahanap ko. But again, in certain shots, hindi rin naman siya perfect. May mga times na completely flat yung kanyang kulay. But as you can see, yung mga outdoor shots natin really did impress me. Mapa 1 times or 2 times digital zoom man yan. These 50 megapixel photos that you guys are seeing really did meet my expectations. Video-wise, we are still capped at full HD video recording due to the limitations of the Snapdragon 680. But since we are getting a higher resolution sensor, this should translate, guys, that we are getting a better photo and video output overall. Now, just like what I mentioned earlier, guys, kanina, we are getting the same 8 megapixels front camera. Quality-wise, I can say na parehas pa rin siya at hindi masyadong nagbago when it comes to comparing it sa kanyang predecessor. So, yep, 50 megapixels lang talaga yung main difference nila. Now, performance-wise, mapa chipset or even battery life, I gotta say medyo mixed emotions ako dito. Katulad ng OPPO A76, yung OPPO A77 guys is also powered by a Snapdragon 680 processor and a 128GB internal storage. Although with this phone guys, we are getting more RAM at 8GB, making it really more suitable when it comes to gaming and mga multitasking duties. Pansin ko, no, it still is a popular choice to most smartphones these days, yung chipset na 680. But I do think, of course, considering its price, medyo underwhelming and underpowered ito. But again, Snapdragon 680 remains to be popular dahil doon sa kanyang power-efficient performance. Speaking of power efficiency, guys, itong OPPO A77s ay mayroong 5,000 mAh of battery capacity and has support for 33 watts SuperVOOC charging. Based on my experience, the OPPO A77s performs very well naman, guys, especially on its battery life, and can possibly do better pa guys since it comes with Android 12 based ColorOS 12 out of the box. So far naman guys, yung ColorOS 12.1 na meron tayo dito sa phone works pretty well and wala pa akong na-encounter na issues so far. It gave me about 2 days of battery life, and charging wise, 50% guys, nakuha ko kaagad siya in less than half an hour. Kung ako tatanungin nyo, significant naman yung mga changes kung ikukumpara natin yung predecessor niya dito sa bagong A77s. What's more is the OPPO A77s RAM can be extended up to 8GB more after software updates. So, guys, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, extended RAM na pwede nyong mahanap in its price range. So, based on my experience, up to 8 extra applications yung nai-run ko on my background. Price-wise, medyo may kataasan din ngayon yung ating smartphone na bagong labas kung ikumpara natin ito doon sa naging price point nung kanyang predecessor noong bagong labas rin ito. Para sa mga naka-OPPO A76 na ngayon, I don't suggest na mag-upgrade kayo agad-agad dito sa OPPO A77s unless you badly wanna get the sunset orange variant of this device. But then, if you are coming from older set of A series ng OPPO, reasonable naman yung mga upgrades natin dito. Isa pa, kung ang top priority nyo sa pagbili ng inyong smartphone ay yung RAM, lalong-lalo na if you are into heavy multitasking, pero ayaw nyong masyadong mapamahal, then OPPO A77s is something that you should be considering. So yeah, that's basically it. Again, it's your tech girl Mary, and see you on our next video. Bye guys!